Hey, it's Jamie. That's me here. Listen, I want to talk to you guys real quick about Miss Tabitha Brown. Okay, before we really get into Tabitha Brown, I just want to say that Trump decided that he was going to file an executive order to roll back DEI. All right. Actually, before he filed this executive order, there were a few companies that began to roll back their DEI initiatives. Back in 2024, once it was like announced that he was going to be president, we started to see like Walmart roll theirs back. Girl, that's so funny considering the fact that they have rollback prices and the prices really don't be rolling back for real. Anywho, in addition to that, you also had like Harley Davidson, Boeing. There were a few companies that decided to roll back. Okay, more recently, since it was announced that he was filing this executive order or whatever, Target actually made the executive decision to also roll back theirs. Okay, now I feel like it's not a requirement, all right, because clearly Costco has stood firm and said, hey, we're not going to do any of that. Whatever we have in place, we're going to be keeping it in place. And it's just that simple. Okay. Well, Target said, hey, we're going to roll it back. In addition to that, we do have a program. I believe it was called the Forward Program or something. Basically, it was a program for black business owners. All right. For them to be able to get their products and things in stores and be seen. All right. In front of a large audience of customers. Okay. So they were able to have access, to Target, to these stores where they wouldn't typically have or may struggle to get in front of some of these, in a few of these retail stores. So Target was giving them that opportunity. And it appears that that opportunity is of no more at this particular time. And it's really, really, really unfortunate for a lot of business owners. I do hope that the business owners that were able to be in Target were able to learn and gain a lot. Should this program completely go away, that they're able to learn a lot to move forward in their journey to the next, retail location that will be open and willing to, assist and serve them in some capacity. Really, really unfortunate, but they definitely decided to end their Reach program that they have with their forward founders or whatnot. Okay, such an unfortunate situation that a lot of people have been in uproar about it. Really, really upset about it. I definitely understand some people have felt like, listen, when we could not count on other stores to have our products, we definitely could count on Target to have our products and to have such a large variety of our products. Okay. And so people have been calling for a boycott of Target at this time. Okay. And, you guys let me know. What are your decisions? Are you choosing to boycott? Are you going to continue to shop and support the black business owners that are there? Or will you be going to the website, going around Target and going directly to them? Even if you have to wait for your products to be shipped, let me know, what you guys decide. All right. Now, in the midst of all of this uproar, outrage, and people speaking out, Miss Tabitha Brown herself, who recently secured a deal with Target. All right. I do believe it's like a multi-year deal that she worked out with Target. She already had, I believe, her hair care products there, which was Adana's recipe from my understanding. And then she branched out to do like the cookware and different things. And I believe that was announced in October of 2024. So she decided to come to the front and, share her thoughts on the matter at hand. And, I don't know if it was a great idea, but we'll go ahead and get into what Miss Tabitha Brown had to say. Let's check this out.
Hello there. Y'all all right? I know. It has been a tough week, right? And baby, it's been a tough 2025 and we are still in January. But I know many of you are asking and have asked and sent me messages about the recent DEI announcements at Target as well. And as disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one affected by this, right? It's for everyone who is a woman-owned business, minority-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses. It's for so many of us who work so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen, and approved for retail. Because contrary to whatever the world might tell you, it has been very hard for Black-owned businesses to hit shelves, right? Which is why it's such a big deal when we do finally land inside of retail. So it is definitely heartbreaking to feel unsupported, right? However, I am in business in multiple ways with Target, with Walmart, and Amazon, right? I sell Donna's Recipe, my hair care products, right, are on Amazon. They're also in Target. And of course, I have a huge partnership with Target. I sell my seasonings at Walmart. I do business all over, just like many other people. And what I can tell you is, if we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected, and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process. And then you got to, like, where you going to put it? You got to have a place to store it. That's money, right? You got to have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business. And everyone does not have the funds or the means or the availability, the space to house their own products, right? But the thing that concerns me the most, and I want you to hear me and hear me well, if we all decide to stop supporting said businesses and say, you know, I can't buy nothing from there, even the businesses who were affected by the DEI ban, right? What that does is you take all our sales and they dwindle down. And then those companies get to say, oh, your products are not performing. And they can remove them from the shelves and then put their preferred businesses on the shelves. And then what happens to all the businesses who've worked so hard to get where they are? Then what happens, right? Now, I know that something that could solve it is ownership of these big corporations, right? It's a long way to go there. There are amazing companies like the Village Market in Atlanta, right, who support small businesses, and you can go in there and there's some amazing things that you can buy, but it's one store and it's very small. We're talking about mass market. You can't build that overnight. Do we all sometimes have these big dreams and aspirations to do that? Absolutely, right? But it is easier said than done, but it's not impossible. But until then, and in order to get there, we unfortunately have to play the game. And in playing that game, we got to be smarter than the ones who think they're in control, okay? And I say that to say, don't allow trying to be mindful with how I say this, because I want God to give me the right words, but don't allow foolishness to take us into separation and weed us out. Do you understand? Because sometimes that's what they want. And in times like this, they're telling us that. Okay? So as frustrating as I listen, as frustrating as the whole situation is, as frustrated as I am, as all of you are, we still got to be smart. Now, you can still go into those stores if you choose to, and buy specific brands that you want to support, and let the other things, right, not get your money. But be very specific. There's so many women, right, that have worked hard to be a woman-owned business. Donna's Recipe is two women, me and Gina Woods, my business partner. We are self-funded. We are self-funded. And we are on shelves in limited doors at Target, right? Other companies, right? There's a Black History Month is coming right now, and all of these brands are about to be showcased, some of them for the first time. And of course, they would do something like this right now, but they still need their moment. They still need our support. Only if you feel like you can and are willing to. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm telling you what, as a business owner, what we still need until we can get to another place, right? And I don't know when that other place will be. I know for me, I'm under contract. I'm gonna give it to you 100. I got another year. Then I make a decision. Okay. So many other businesses are just starting. They're just getting in. This is their big break to go to the next whatever phase of their business there may be. We have to have understanding and compassion for each other and not be in an emotional state, but also a smart state. Because if we start doing I'm not shopping there, and it's our businesses that are in there, that's their way that they will clean us out and replace us and say, well, your business is not performing. That's what people want. We can't give them what they want. Okay? I hope that this is making sense for somebody. And I know it's a long video, and I know somebody might not listen to the whole thing. But this is the truth. So I want to say right now, I thank you for supporting me for the last 5 years. I have worked with Target, with Walmart, with all the places that you have shopped for my products. I thank you for showing up for me. I thank you for supporting me. When you did, I thank you for showing out for me. And if you choose not to anymore, I understand that. And I still thank you and I'm grateful. But if you've heard anything that I've said today, if you still choose to show up for me, I thank you. But also showing up for others. We in it together. Okay? But either way, be clear. I understand. All right? But remember this, if you don't remember nothing else, let's not give them what they want. Okay? Don't let them take us off of shelves. Don't let them erase us. Numbers don't lie. We're needed. Our money is the dollar that really, really counts. Okay? Y'all go about your business. Know that I love you and have the most amazing day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, so you guys just heard what all Miss Tabitha Brown had to say and how people boycotting not just her brand, boycotting Target and how it can affect a lot of different Black-owned businesses, okay? I want to hear you guys' thoughts on whether you are going to continue to support or whether you are not. It sounds like, although they may be rolling back this DEI, the DEI initiatives, including the REACH program, as well as, Forward Founders, which heavily benefited a lot of new up and coming Black businesses or whatnot. It appears and it sounds like to me what she was kind of saying is that just because these programs are rolling back does not mean that Black products will not continue to be in the store. All right. And people not purchasing those products could potentially affect their numbers and lead them to not being on the shelves as well. So not really, that's kind of what it sounds like, just a little bit. I know a lot of people heard more of her asking folks to still support her only. OK, we are going to get into a few of the comments of what people had to say yesterday after Tabitha came out with this video, because she then became the focal point of the conversation and not so much as Target and DEI and things of that nature. But let us go ahead and check out what some people had to say. The first person I want to chime in on is Pink Lomain. All right. She is an artist, and shout out to her. I actually came across her work over on Instagram. And then I learned from looking at her Instagram, like a few years ago, I learned that she actually was in Target. She was in, well, before she actually got in Target, she was in TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, and things like that, right? Well, I believe they may have ended her partnership. And let me tell you, her drawings are so unique and so beautiful to me. It was really a struggle to actually find some of her paintings inside of the actual store, but I was able to go to one of TJ Maxx's websites, and I was able to order one of the paintings. And then actually I was able to also go to her website and order, I think it was 2 more paintings from her. And more recently, maybe she had already gotten the news or something about Target rolling back, because at some point I did see her items in Target, and unless she may have gotten the news more recently, so she decided to start promoting her website and where you can get shirts and things. And I actually have some shirts coming from her this week. All right. So I'm looking forward to, rocking those or whatnot. But she does hop in Tabitha's comments, and this is what she says. Definitely understand, can relate as someone who have had products in said store before. Okay, Target, she says, my t-shirt sold out within days, and unfortunately, I wasn't brought back on board, which was weird. But fortunately, I am able to pivot and continue to sell online from my own store. But of course, having retail recognition is always a win. The retail business has its ups and downs. I hate how hard it is for certain groups of folks like ourselves to get in stores and stay in stores outside of Black History Month. And when I read this message, it does kind of sound to me just a little bit that, for me, it sounds like she may be confirming a little bit of what Tabitha is, or what I kind of got some of what Tabitha was saying. As far as people not being able to, stay in stores. So if people withdrew their dollars, and again, I'm not telling you what to do with your money or anything, but if people withdrew their dollars, it could continue to affect those businesses that are within, Target. But before you guys can withdraw your money, it appears that Target may be affecting them first by withdrawing the programs that they have. Okay. But that is what Pink Lomain had to say. And let us go ahead and get into more. And actually, I would say that you guys should check her out over on Instagram. Look around, okay? Look around the Instagram page, look around the website. You just might find something that you like, okay? But let's go ahead and get into more of what people have to say. Someone says, this is how capitalism keeps us in a perpetual cycle of servitude, okay? The person goes on to say, respect to you, Tabitha, but you're speaking from the perspective of somebody who's selling items at Target. I'm boycotting. All right. That's period. A lot of people are not changing their minds about this. They are going to boycott. And I feel like, hey, listen, it's your money. You have a right to do as you choose and withdraw where you choose to withdraw, especially if you want to make a statement. All right. And who knows, if people were to withdraw their money, maybe Target would be impacted, and they would say, you know what, let's bring this program back. Okay. Now, if they were to bring the program back, I'll be honest and say, I don't think it's going to stick around long. I think the ultimate goal is for it to phase out anyway, as I believe it was set to expire this year anyway. But I feel like if they were to bring it back to pacify individuals, or shall I say their customers, in hopes of, maintaining their Black dollars, I think they will phase it out much quietly before the year is out. But that's just my personal opinion on that. But let's keep going because there's more. Someone says, as much as I love you, Tab, the video is still undermining the boycott for your self-interest and other petite bourgeois, okay? No matter how sweetly you say it or caveats you add. All right. Someone else goes on to say, I'm curious if you and the other Black-owned brands have requested meetings with Target executives to express your take on this. If they value your brand and your voice, I'm wondering if you could include an ask or call to action for Target. You may have already did this, so I was just asking. Tabitha says, absolutely. I think that was a great question to be asked, because I was wondering the same thing. And I was also like, you know what, Tabitha? Tabitha, I kind of feel like you should have just not even hopped on the video and said anything just a bit, especially the way, you know, the backlash is hitting just a bit, right? I think that a statement could have potentially been put out, as I believe you pronounce it as the Doux. Doux. Correct me in the comments, but they did put out a statement, and we'll get into their statement or whatnot. There's another Black-owned business that's been in Target for quite some time, and we'll get into what she had to say as well. The owner of the Lip Bar, Melissa Butler. But I was thinking that Tabitha could have just, not said anything, put a statement out potentially, and then next thing you know, we see her actually going into the offices of Target to have a meeting to talk about this. I do see, in my opinion, Tabitha not being fully affected by this. It's more so, in my opinion, the newer companies, and maybe not so new, but more so new to retail. And I say that because the following hits different, right? You have some of these brands that only have a few hundreds of thousands of followers, whereas Tabitha has over 1 million. So because she has such a large following, and even with her just promoting on her page, is going to get noticed by a lot of people. I feel like that is the leverage that she has, which is likely going to not put her in much of a bind as others. And that's just my opinion. I can see a contract potentially being extended beyond the extra year that she does have with Target, from my understanding, because I thought it was like a 2-year deal that she was doing. So I could see it being extended to like another 2-year deal with Target. But I also kind of don't mind her coming out and kind of speaking as well, because it's not as though she was advocating for just herself. It seems like she was advocating for all of the other business owners, within the store, because they will be affected. Not only are they being affected by Target rolling this back, but they're also going to be affected potentially by the customers. Now, let's be honest. A lot of people say that they're going to support individuals by going directly to their website. And I don't see everyone doing that. I don't see everyone actually doing that. Okay. Some of these Black-owned businesses are going to benefit from website purchases, whereas others, I don't think they are necessarily. Okay. But that's just, my thoughts about that. But I feel like Tabitha was trying to advocate for more than just herself in that moment, because it can impact some things. But I also feel like people have a right to do as they choose with their money, especially if they feel as though they are not, or their people are not being respected. Okay. So I get what everybody is saying here. Okay. But I do want to get into more over here about what was said after Tabitha did this video. Okay. We got into that one, so let's get into one more. This person says, so basically y'all want Tabitha Brown to break her contract and risk getting sued by Target? Like she said in that video, it's not always that simple. If you go support her and other Black businesses, then do it. If not, then please shut the entire woe up. Okay, so that is what someone else had to say. Let's get into more. This person says the whole argument is just nonsensical. These people clearly do not care about how their actions will impact the minority vendors relying on customer patronship, or the impact of stores closing in their neighborhoods. Target has been a champion for small and minority businesses way before it was trendy. All this smoke for a business that actually sells and promotes minority businesses is puzzling. Why no smoke for Walmart, Amazon, and Meta? They not calling for an Amazon boycott. They're not telling folk to delete their Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or Threads account. They're not telling folks to stop shopping at Walmart. They can't tell you one minority brand Costco features, but they can tell you at least one that Target does. This selective boycott defies logic and therefore seems to be motivated by something other than the progress. Okay, so that's what one person says. That's really interesting that people have not called on a boycott for Walmart, considering the fact that they were like one of the first people to announce that they were going to be rolling things back. I think a lot of people just may be hurt and shocked that when they look to Black-owned products, they look to Target, and for Target to not stand on business and as they have for so many years, being that they were a part of this well before it became trendy. I think a lot of people are just disappointed and hurt and shocked by the news, which is why, they're choosing to, rise up, I suppose, and they are planning to boycott. So again, you guys, let me know how you're planning to move. Are you going to continue to shop in the store of Target and getting whatever it is you need, or are you only going to go into Target to shop Black-owned businesses, or are you going to take your dollars completely away and go and shop online solely and find another store for the other items that you may need for your home? Okay. And then I also think about the people in the smaller cities, okay, smaller areas that may only have a Target. All right. They may not have access to other stores. Therefore, they might be forced to only spend, at Target. All right. So it's just an interesting situation to be in at this particular time. All right. So as I stated, that is what's going on with Miss Tabitha Brown and a lot of the response and what things have had and what people have had to say about the matter at hand. All right. Now, there were two other owners that has come out to speak. And before we get into Melissa Butler, I do want to get into the Doux. And I'm hoping that I said that correctly, because she took to social media to share her thoughts about the matter at hand. Okay. And what she says is, as a Black female founder, I deeply appreciate the unwavering support our community has shown for brands like the Doux since 2012. She goes on to say, since 2012, our brand has gone from selling exclusively in our salons and online to becoming one of the top 3 Black-owned brands in the textured hair category. Your loyalty has allowed us to grow from a dream into a thriving business that creates products with you in mind. However, the recent rollback of DEI initiatives in major retailers has sparked calls to boycott stores that carry brands like ours. While I understand the frustration, I want to offer some perspective on how we can work together to navigate this moment. Okay. She says, these decisions were as much of a surprise to us as they were to you. We didn't see this coming, and we have no control over these changes. What we do control is how we respond. And that response requires us to think strategically about what it takes to ensure that businesses like ours continue to thrive. She goes on to say, want to know how to support your favorite brand? Please don't make assumptions. Ask the brand directly. Okay. Every business has different needs based on their foundation and internal structure. The challenges of running a small business that has scaled into major retail are incredibly complex. Okay. Saying things like, I'll just shop on your website or I'll find your product somewhere else might sound supportive, but it can unintentionally harm businesses that have already invested heavily in retail partnerships. The cost of participating in big box stores are steep, and performance in those spaces can determine the survival of the brand, period. Okay. Now, that is not all, because she does go on to share more. So let's get into that. She says, pulling Black dollars from these retailers doesn't hurt the corporations as much as it hurts the brands you love. It also feeds into the false narrative that we're only here because of DEI initiatives, not because of the countless hours, sacrifices, and creativity we've poured into creating a lasting impact on the textured hair care category through the Doux. She goes on to say, we've worked tirelessly to build something that represents innovation, excellence, and the trust of the people we have served in our salons for decades. We are here because we've earned it. All right. She also goes on to say the best way to support the Doux right now is to clear the shelves. All right. Buy Black-owned products in the stores where you find us. Your purchases send a clear message to the retailers. Black-owned brands are essential, valuable, and are here to stay. Okay. She also goes on to say, listen, this is chess, not checkers. Boycotting is not a strategy. Building is. Together, we can take action that ensures the long-term success of Black-owned businesses while creating more opportunities for Black talent, Black creatives, and Black professionals who rely on business like the Doux to support their families. Your support, whether it's sharing our stories, stocking up on your favorites, or simply asking how you can help, is is what really moves the needle. All right. She says, thank you, Doux Gang. She says, for rocking with us on this journey, is what she has to say. All right. And she also goes on to caption this with just another statement saying, for clarity, this message is not intended to dismiss the value of boycotting. I believe in its power as a collective action. However, I don't think it's the best course of action in this specific scenario. That said, I respect the right of every customer to shop the Doux where you feel valued. My statement was in response to my community asking how they could help. I've done my best to be transparent, genuine, and authentic in my reply. This will be my only statement on this matter, as we firmly believe that the responsibility of this conversation lies with the retailers who initiated it. Thank you. All right. So this is what she said as she went ahead and cut off her comments. Okay. I'm willing to believe that she was getting some backlash initially and had to go ahead and cut the comments off because people gave her a lot of flack for that. Okay. You guys let me know. I understand. I get it. I feel like for me, I definitely get it. I see how it can impact. I think you can make a statement by purchasing up a lot of the products, showing how much of a need they are, for those Black businesses. But I also feel like people are making a statement that you need our money, period. All right. So with you needing our money, we're going to withdraw our Black dollars and we'll just see how well you guys are going to operate then. All right. So you guys let me know your thoughts about that overall. All right. But in addition to that, I do want us to get into the Lip Bar's CEO, Miss Melissa Butler, and what exactly she had to say about this matter at hand as well. So let us go ahead and check out Melissa here.
Hey y'all, I am Melissa Butler. I am the founder and CEO of The Lip Bar. The Lip Bar has been in Target since 2017, and we are the largest Black-owned makeup company in Target. So, of course, we were disappointed, just like many of you, when we learned that they were rolling back their DEI initiatives. But I will say, even though I'm disappointed, I'm not that surprised. I always thought that the 2020 commitments were a farce. Like, anything that is forced is going to be a farce. And I think part of it is because Trump is emboldening companies to reverse commitments that they never wanted to do in the first place. And that is not just true for Target. I think it's true for a lot of companies. But I think also beyond that, and this is me being honest with y'all, I'm always going to be honest, a lot of the brands that they launched didn't do well. Did not do well. We have been in Target since 2017, and it's been a long time. In my 8 years in Target, I've seen them kick out 8 brands, not because they were Black, not because they were woman-owned, not because they were Latina-owned, so on and so forth, just because they didn't perform. And so someone asked me, what will this mean for the Lip Bar? Will this DEI rollback impact you guys? And truth is, I don't know yet. I don't know yet from a Target perspective. Right now, things are still business as usual. We are still growing significantly at Target, which is a blessing. So the immediate risk is that, if all of our consumers boycott Target, then, that will absolutely impact us. And a lot of people are saying like, well, I would rather shop you on your site. Great. Listen, here's the thing. I understand. I too am disappointed, and you have the ability to take your dollar wherever you feel most comfortable. So if you want to shop us at Walmart or Target or Amazon or on our website or in our store in Detroit, do it. But if you don't want to shop us at any of those places, I understand that too, because we do have power in our dollars. But I do want to make sure that we are aware that, by not shopping in these stores, you are also impacting the hundreds of Black-owned businesses and women-owned businesses and, brown person-owned businesses that are in these stores. So it's a really shitty situation to be in. I look forward to understanding a little bit more about what this means across all of our retailers. Like, what does it mean at Walmart? What does it mean at Target, what does this mean at Meta? Should we be deleting this app right now? Like, what, you know, what y'all want us to do? What's up?
All right. So you guys just heard what Melissa Butler has to say. And it seems like all of the ladies are pretty much saying the same thing about when you guys remove your dollars from Target purchasing their products, it definitely affects them in the long run. Because although DEI initiatives are being rolled back and certain programs are ending, it does not mean that their companies will necessarily be kicked out. But if their money is, or shall I say, if their products are not performing well, then they could end up being kicked out. And the reality of it all is, for me, I just don't really see a lot of people going to the website to purchase and support, as they say. But we'll just have to see. All right. I do think that, in my opinion, this would be a pretty good time for these companies to potentially pay attention to TikTok, see how things are working, probably get on their stormy steel, shall I say, to see how they can promote their products over on TikTok and become a part of, that e-commerce section over there on TikTok. Granted, if TikTok continues to stay around, if possible, not really sure. I believe that Trump did extend it for a few more days. However, it's being said that it was signed into law that it was banned. So how he's going to be able to reverse that, not necessarily sure. And he is seeking to get someone to purchase it. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But I also don't think it'll be a bad thing for these companies to work on building their presence over on TikTok and being able to get in front of even more eyes, right? And also being able to direct people of where they can find them and other ways that they can go about supporting their businesses. Okay. But I wanted to go ahead and give this information to you guys. It's your turn to go ahead and hop down in the comments and share your thoughts ultimately on how you plan on spending your dollars. Okay. That's all that I have for you guys at this particular time. Of course, I am Jami. That's me. You can like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jami. That's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cash died at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like ages. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man? They say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasted film. I can fill a pool with